Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are here, it is probably because you voted on my poll on Instagram. I asked you guys what you would prefer to see first, me dermaplaning my skin, which is in the next video, so stay tuned, or if I should do my blowout tutorial first. So just a disclaimer, I am definitely not a professional. I'm not claiming to be a professional. This is just how I blow dry my hair. This is what has worked for me throughout the years. And listen, let's face it, I'm sure most people would prefer to go to a salon over doing it themselves because it is a lot of work, but coronavirus is unfortunately happening right now and we have to make the best of the situation. So if you want to see how I got my hair like this, stay tuned. So I would say I got out of the shower about maybe 25 to 30 minutes ago. When I get out, I usually like to air dry my hair or leave it in a towel. I know a lot of people say that the regular terry cloth towels aren't really that good for your hair, but I've just always used the terry cloth towel. So when I get out, I take my hair out of the towel and I comb my hair with a tooth comb in the shower, if that's the proper name for it, while I have my mask and conditioner in. So it's already unknotted. What I like to do is I first take my finishing cream from Way. I reviewed it in my last video. If you want to see it, I will put the link down below. And I like to take a little bit more than a dime-sized amount because I do have really, really thick hair. So I usually take about this much. That's just what works for me. I rub it between my hands. I put my hair to the side or underneath. And I brush it through. And on the ends, I like to rub it in like that. I twirl it around, give it some extra care. TLC. So now that I've applied my finishing cream and brushed my hair, I do like to blow dry my hair without the brush. I guess you could say it's freehand blow dry. I don't know the proper name for it. And basically, I just start off by blow drying the roots and blow drying them down because I've been told whatever way you blow dry your hair is the way it's gonna go. So if you blow dry like this, it's gonna go this way. If you blow dry like this, it's gonna go down. So I never put it on high heat. I usually put it on the first hot setting, and then the bottom one I put 2, which is cold. And I'll just show you. For my baby hairs all around the side of my face, I don't like them to be curly when I'm blow drying. So this is when I kind of start to straighten them out because it's just easier for me personally than to do it with the brush. So what I do is I again turn my blow dryer on and then I kind of like to put my head to the side and blow dry inside like this. I also, at this point, would turn my head upside down and blow dry downwards. And I just do the same thing all around, and I just kind of blow dry it, pass my hand through it. If you want to, you could totally pass a paddle brush through and just brush it like that. And I also like to get the ends as well because that's the hardest part for once you're blow drying with the brush. Just a little side note, you want to make sure you really get inside with the blow dryer when you're freehanding because you want your roots to be blow dry before doing it over with the brush because that could cause like humidity and frizz inside your hair, like the same way when you go outside when it's raining. So that's really important. You want to make sure you could get the inside of your hair, like if that makes sense, as dry as possible. That's the goal. So I would say at this point my hair is predominantly dry, probably around like 90% dry. So it is still kind of damp. So at this point is part my hair. Now I know everyone has their own ways that they're used to. This is just how I've always done it. I don't put my whole head in clips. I know that's one way that many people like to do it. That's the more professional way, but just for my purposes, for purposes of the video, this is the way I do it, and I've always done it this way. So I do have long nails. Usually I always have long nails, and I like to separate it right, I usually go right above my ears, so right about here. And I always want to keep my fingers close to my scalp. It's never going to be perfect, and I just separate. And I take the pieces in front, I put them this way because they're shorter, and that's the only way that they'll stay. And I twist around, and then I twist again. Once it's here, just clip. Okay, so here we are. This is what we have. What I now do is I like to take a small brush, not super small, but this is a number 33. This is from Ionic Tech thermal brush. So I usually grab my hair in one hand, grab it in the other. That has the blow dryer. And I always keep my brush in my left hand. Well, it would be your non-dominant hand. And I like to kind of make sure that it's completely dry. So I start by going under and I go down, and then I pick it up with my right hand that has the blow dryer, and I put the brush on top like so, and I flip my hair over and I give it a nice good dry again as I'm going down. Then I go again underneath and I pull, then I go over again. And at this point, once you pull down, you're gonna wanna twist up like this. And I know it's not perfect. This is the way that I do it. A lot of people have questions on it. I know that there's hair left over. I kind of tried it my best to separate it. And when you're rolling up the brush, you don't want to roll it up this way because you're not going to get nice bouncy waves that way. You want to always hold the brush vertically, and that's when you're drying. So you're going to want to dry, 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 pull out like so, dry, and then pull in, and dry, 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 dry. And then once you let go, you're gonna have a nice curl, which obviously the blow dryer is not on. So I'll just show you. My second piece I usually go up pretty high, I would say, because you don't have to necessarily take such small pieces. So I usually separate right here, and then I kind of go downward because I like to do half of my head at a time. So in other words, I would separate here and do this half, blow dry it, and then I would go ahead and do the other side. So if you didn't know, the end of most, I think they're called like roller brushes, I don't really know the name, but have a secret compartment. I don't know if it was a secret or if like, I don't know. I just remember not always knowing that. Like, this is something new that I learned. Now that I've reached the top, I know, like I said, the parts are not even. This is just the way I do it. Some people like to be more neat about it. I think it's a neater job when the parts are smaller and more accurate. But so now that I'm at the top, like I said, I like to leave out the smaller parts, like my bangs. But what I do first is I cut it as close to my center as possible. I keep saying cut, I mean separate, sorry. I would say about here is my center, how I usually do it. But now, this is all short on top because that's the way my hair was cut. But this side has a couple of long pieces, and I like to blow dry those first. So whatever is shorter, I like to pin up like this. So I am aware I look super crazy, but at this point most of my hair is done besides the front. I like to do one side at a time so that way I know that everything is nice and neat. And I'll show you guys how I get my voluminous front parts. So you're gonna want to take the hair up. Remember how I was saying at the beginning of the video, if you blow dry the hair up, that's the way it's gonna stay. If you do it down, it's gonna be more flat. So this is whatever you prefer, but I just like super like volume in the front. So I blow dry it, and you always want to twist your hand with the brush. This is just something that you learn with time, obviously. But what you want to do is you want to get super close to the root and make sure that there's no like static hair. And you want to twist out, and you want to go to the very end. Blow dry the very end, continuously twist the brush, and then you want to hold up like this. Blow dry, come out. Twist, twist, come in. Blow dry, and then voila. So I don't use spray in my hair, so sometimes the curls don't really stay, but I just like that voluminous look that the way I blow dry my hair it gives me. Like I said at the beginning, I am not a professional. This is just the way I do it. But for my finishing touch, I like to use the Renewing Argan Oil of Morocco Extra Penetrating Oil for dry and coarse hair. This is from Organics, I think the name is. You could get it at Walgreens, CVS. So what I do at this point is I like to apply a tiny amount, literally like the smallest, can't really see. I rub it in my hands again to heat it up because it is an oil, and I turn my head upside down. I brush through it because I don't want to ruin what I have, and I just like, I don't even rub it into my hair. I just, whatever comes off, and I only really like to apply it to the ends like that. Whatever is left on my hands I like to apply to the top. And there you have it. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I appreciate all of my subscribers, everyone who has watched me from the first video, which was only one video, but I do appreciate everybody. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.